witches. They're real, and they hate children.
Welcome.
I have to ask about the transformation scene, obviously, and it's so easy for the audience to say like, oh, that's all CGI, they just cheated. But what are some practical elements that went into you transforming into the Grand
So
Highway?
much glue and latex, like so much. Yeah, makeup on this one, when I was in the full thing, could take as long as 5 hours. So, it was having fingers glued on, feet glued on. The whole headpiece kind of started here and went all the way down my kind of neck into my back, and yeah, it was pretty fun.
Ladies, I have a plan. Randro, the transform a child into a mouse.
There is a very popular phrase that film critics use all the time. I overuse it as well too. We like to say that actor looks like they're having a blast in a particular role. I'm super curious though if there's any weight to that sentiment at all from an acting standpoint. Are there certain roles that you do have more fun with, and what are some of the elements that might make a role more fun?
Catering.
Yeah, very fair.
I think, so much of it has to do with just the alchemy of the project. Who's directing you? What lines do you get to say? Who's designed the costumes that you're in? Who are you standing opposite in the scenes? And for me, this one was just, tens across the board. I couldn't have been working with better. I couldn't have been inspired by better. And it was just, this one was one of those, and the catering was fantastic. So this one was actually a genuine blast.
I'm gonna put the catering into my review then, because that's essential.
Oh my God, I mean, for me, I can't speak for other people, but for me, shooting this movie, playing Grandma, I had a blast playing Grandma. So there aren't that many times that you get to say that, like, oh my God, I absolutely, positively had fun. I know that Anne had fun playing the Grand High Witch, and Stanley had fun because we were constantly laughing between takes. So yeah, I think there's some merit to that.
Well, what makes a role fun is a good role. It's something you can sink your teeth into. It's something, obviously, if it's comic, it's really fun.
Right.
But then also having the right director and people to play with, like Annie and Octavia, and just having a nice director, a good director like Robert Zemeckis.
They may come into work.
It all comes together, and the costume is right, and the hair thing is right, and when you're in the makeup trailer, and there was Peter King did it, whom I know, and Joanna Johnson did the costumes, and we just, you have such a good time figuring it all out, and you're laughing and going, oh my God, yeah, it's perfect,
Can you remember ever reading that about yourself and thinking to yourself, that role wasn't that fun at all?
Oh, yeah. yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
Please tell me you had some input into the choice of the fourth top song, Reach Out.
No, that's all Bob Zemeckis. It was Reach Out, and then the other one, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
And just talking about choreographing that, I thought that the dance sequence in that told me a lot about that character in particular.
Definitely. I was channeling my mom's dancing because I thought she danced so weirdly. And then I realized it was a mom's dance, and then it turned into a grandma's dance.
One thing about Mr. Zemeckis that I think people gravitate towards is he's a technical director. He likes to obsess over some of the things that he's able to bring from CGI aspects. But I'm just curious, as an actor's director, what is he like in terms of letting you prepare, letting you try out different things?
I thought it was great. I said to him after, I said, can I please be in every one of your movies? Whatever. Because he's so good, he's so relaxed. And I go, let me try this. And you try it. And he goes, no, that didn't work. Try one like this. And then you do that. He goes, yeah, good. Yeah, that was good. All right, good. It's like, there's no angst. There's no nothing. It's like, it was easy, but I think he's a master. He really is. And He loves actors, obviously. And if you look at his films, he loves actors.
Right. He gets wildly different things out of performance.
Yeah, he does. And he doesn't, there's no sort of imposition. It's just, he trusts you.
Bob, you know, you rehearse, and if there's anything in the rehearsal that needs a note, he gives you the note, and if there isn't, he just sets you loose and lets you play. And he definitely knows what he wants. So he's efficient and quite proficient at getting what he wants out of a performance. That's one of the things I loved about him.
His action is so well choreographed too, like right down to the beat too. I imagine if you fit your performance into what he's looking for there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you're acting alongside mice.
That was interesting because even though I'm acting alongside mice, they aren't really there. So for me, I felt the first time that I started running lines in my hotel room, I don't usually run them out loud, but I started to because I knew that I needed to talk to objects that wouldn't talk back, and feel how awkward that felt, so that I wouldn't have that on the set, that it would just feel genuine, as if I was actually interacting with mice.
What would you do if there were mice running all around this hotel?
Well, I would call the exterminator.
Exactly.
In your scenes with Annie, it felt like your timing comes right back. And I'm curious if timing is something like chemistry that you can almost tap right into with certain people.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you have to have the same sensibility, you know, and if you've worked together before, that really helps. You know, it had been quite a few years since we worked together, but you know, it came together pretty quickly because you know each other. Suddenly, it's all familiar.
He would exterminate those brats.
Rats.
Obviously, you made the part very much your own, but I'm curious if you managed to sneak in any homage to Miss Houston in your performance.
I'm not gonna try to make a cute answer. The truth is, the homage was in hoping to achieve the level of excellence that she did. But I genuinely believed and believe that to do anything that was imitative, I hope I said that word right, imitative, would have been disrespectful to us both, because her performance is flawless, and it existed in a totally different film. So I knew that I had to be the Grand High Witch for Robert Zemeckis's film, and I just hoped that I just hoped that people would see us as two great Grand High Witches at the end of the day.
You mentioned Mr. Zemeckis. I'll get you out of here on the hardest one. I feel like this answer tells me almost everything I need to know about somebody. Which of the 3 Back to the Future films is your favorite?
Oh gosh.
Not best, favorite.
No. Genuinely the first one, because I love the music in it.
Oh, Silvestri's score is genius. Yeah,
it's it's so beautiful. I watched it recently, and you know, it's one of those movies you've seen so many times, and as a kid you get so lost in the story. But I just felt like now as an adult, knowing Bob from this film, I got really lost in the filmmaking of it. It's such a beautiful film. It's so beautifully shot, and the layers of it are so great, and the editing is just fantastic, and there's just such a joy to it. There's a reason why I think it's like the most streamed movie of all time, maybe, but that doesn't, and it just doesn't surprise me. It's so, you just feel so held by it.
Ooh, I always start with the original because it sets the stage for what is to come.
I don't know. I think I probably like the first one, I guess. I don't know. I have to admit, I haven't seen them for a long time.
Every time he races to hit the lightning, I'm convinced he's not going to do it.
I know. What is that? And Christopher Lloyd is just so, you know, I've got to also shout out to Bob, because when you look at he has such an incredible track record of actors stepping outside their comfort zone and giving, like, for me, some of their best performances. You look at Bruce Willis in Death Becomes Her. You look at Christopher Lloyd in just like anything. Meryl Streep in Death Becomes Her. It just, the list goes on and on and on. And I was just so thrilled that he asked me to be his Grand High Witch.